Solving right triangles. Thanks for watching our video to understand how to solve right triangles. Appreciate you. Appreciate you. Okay, so solving right triangles, SOHCAHTOA. Using SOHCAHTOA to help us. So sine is opposite of hypotenuse. Remember that. SOHCAHTOA. So basically the first step you want to do is identify your triangle, right? I'm going to make sure we got the right thickness there. So identify your sides of your right triangle. Step number one. From the angle they give you. So from this angle, we're going to throw a rock. Psh, ow. How do you spell ow? Ow. So it's going to be side A. And so side A is opposite of angle A, 32 degrees. So we'll call that the opposite side length. And then that's the opposite. Angle C is our right angle. And so across from the right angle is our hypotenuse. Hypotenuse. So that's going to be our hypotenuse. Nice. So that's side length C is our hypotenuse. And then last but not least, so if that's hypotenuse, that's opposite. And then, oh yeah, using the theorem, Allison, she told us this year that between your angle and your right angle is this side length, which they give us is 15, but that's called the adjacent. And it's adjacent to the angle, adjacent to 30 degrees. So that's called our adjacent angle. So then step number 2 is identify with your sides. So identify with your given sides what trig function to use, right? What trig function to use. Nice. That's supposed to say function. What's your function? Okay, so in this case, we don't have the hypotenuse. We don't have the opposite side. So identify which given set of trig function you're going to use. So really, now that I think about it, right? Now that I think about it, you're going to have to choose. Choose what? So choose a side to solve for. Really? Yeah, you got to choose. And then you maybe use Pythagorean Theorem after that. That'd be awesome. So let's say I want to choose, for example, the hypotenuse. Let's find the hypotenuse. Okay, well, what has hypotenuse? And they do give us 15, so what has hypotenuse and adjacent in it? Okay, well, let's think about it. Usually I know that the hypotenuse is always on the bottom. So which one? Is it sine, cosine, or tangent? So which one is adjacent over hypotenuse? So, nope, that's OH. Ka. Ugh. So CAH, it is cosine. Nice, good job. So we're going to be using cosine right now. So then step number 3 is to go ahead. Step number 3 is to set it up. Set up the trig equation, and then we'll go ahead and solve it. So how do we set it up? Let's use green for, purple, yeah, purple. So we're going to use cosine. So cosine of what? Well, it's always cosine of just some angle, right? Cosine of some angle. And so the angle they give us to solve with is 32 degrees. So let's use 32 degrees. So cosine of 32 degrees is equal to adjacent over hypotenuse. Well, they do give us adjacent. It's 15. So we're going to go ahead and write 15 down over the hypotenuse, which you can call h, or even we call it little c probably. Call it little c. So we want to go ahead and solve for side length c now. Cool. So all we got to do now is solve for c. And so how you solve for c is is right now it's in the bottom, so you got to get out of the bottom, so you got to multiply it to the other side. So we're going to go ahead and multiply it to both sides. And if you multiply it to both sides, it's going to go out of the bottom over to the other side. And then we can go ahead now and solve for c. How do we solve for c? By dividing cosine 32. Cosine 32 is just a number. I mean, if you really want to know what it is, you can type it in. Make sure your mode is in degrees first, which mine is. And so cosine of 32 degrees is just 0.8480480.962. So we're just going to divide that over to the other side. And so when you do it, you end up with 15 divided by cosine 32 degrees. Nice, nice. And that's what c is going to be. Let me write it out. So c now is equal to the cosine 32 to the other side. We still have 15 on top and cosine 32 on the bottom. And that's going to give us our side length c. Nice. So now we go to our calculator. We can go 15 divided by cosine 32 degrees. Good. And that gives us 17.687. So we're going to round that to the nearest tenth. So that's going to give us 0.687. Feet, I think we're dealing with feet at the moment because it says feet. Dealing with feet. So we'll say feet. We want to round to the nearest tenth is what we're going to practice. So 17.687, that 8 is going to round. That's 6 up to a 7. So 17.7 feet. Nice. And so I would probably not round it just yet until we find, if you're going to use Pythagorean Theorem, probably don't round just yet, just in case. But if not, you could probably be okay there. Okay, so that's going to be 17.7 feet. So there's some c done, right? We had to find a little c. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Okay, they want us to find the other angle, and that's b, because they want us to find everything now. Solve all the right triangles. Solve it all. So they want us to find angle b. Well, that's easy, because we have 90 degrees here and 32 degrees there. And how many degrees in a full triangle? 180 minus our 90 degrees leaves us with 90. And then just minus our 32 is going to give us angle b. And so we're going to go ahead and minus 32. And so what is 90 minus 32? So 90 minus 32, borrow there. So 10 minus 2 is 8. And then 8 minus 3 is 5. Nice, 58 degrees. So 90 minus 32 is 58 degrees. And that's angle B now. So now we have C done. And we have B done. And now what we got to do is find side length A now. Now, two ways you can do that. You can use the Pythagorean Theorem to solve the rest of the triangle. You can use the Pythagorean Theorem. And they should give us both the same answers, right? Give us both the same answers there. So you use Pythagorean Theorem. A squared plus B squared equals C squared. Do you remember Pythagorean Theorem? So A squared plus B squared is equal to C squared. So we don't know what A is, so we'll just call it A squared. We do have B. B squared is 15, so 15 squared. And then we do have C, which was 17.687. Just in case I wouldn't round just yet till the very end. And so cool. So now we can go in and solve for that. And so 15 squared, 15 times 15, I believe is 225. Let's just show you the math there on our calculator now. No, not that. Okay, calculator. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and take 17.68. We're going to go ahead and square that sucker. So 312.85, and then we're just going to minus over that 15 squared, right? And solve for A squared. So minus over the 15 squared gives us 87.853. So again, what did we just do there? We took 15 squared, which is 225. So we took 312.853, or you could just say 0.85 or 9. And then we're going to go ahead and take the 15 squared, which was 225, and you're going to minus that over. Minus that over. And so when you minus that over, that's going to give us A squared is equal to, and so that's 312 minus 15 squared, 87.85. Now that's not quite your answer, 87.85. Because you have to square root it. Don't forget to solve for just little a. So we're going to square root it. And then finally, we're going to find what a is. And so the square root of that answer there, so that's going to be second square root of 87.85 is 9.37. Yay! So we found everything now, 9.37. So little a is also 9.37 feet, or rounded to the nearest tenth, 9.4 feet. Nice. So we found all the missing sides, all the missing angles. How beautiful is that? And so if you wanted to double check your answer, we could have used a trig function, right? We could have used a trig function. We could have used opposite and adjacent. And what's opposite and adjacent? Well, opposite or adjacent is tangent. So we could have done tangent of 32 degrees is equal to opposite, which we don't know what it is, just call it A, over adjacent, we do know what it is, 15. And then we could have just multiplied 15 to the other side, and then just plug that into our calculator. 15 times tangent 32. And that looks faster than Pythagorean Theorem, didn't it? So 15 times tangent 32 degrees is still 9.37, 9.4. Look at that. That was amazing. So you can either use Pythagorean Theorem, or you can use tangent, which is awesome. Sorry this is so messy. It'll be a lot better in class. Just wanted to make this quick video for you, how to find all the sides and all the angles. Watch my other video as well. Peace out. Thanks for watching. Woo! Thanks for watching. Bye for now. See you soon. Bye for now.